What if everything you were taught about the past was only part of the story? What if the real events, the forgotten civilizations, and the forbidden knowledge had been deliberately erased from the pages of your textbooks? History, as presented in schools, is often simplified, curated, and censored. We learn of kings and queens, wars and revolutions, but the narrative is carefully filtered to emphasize certain events while omitting uncomfortable truths. The story of humanity is far more complex, far more mysterious, and far more fascinating than the sanitized versions we've been taught. Across millennia, countless civilizations rose and fell, leaving behind monuments, writings, and inventions that hint at knowledge far beyond what mainstream history acknowledges. Some were destroyed by conquerors, some were erased by those in power, and some remain hidden, waiting to be rediscovered. Lost civilizations beyond the textbooks. Many societies that once shaped humanity are barely mentioned, yet their influence is undeniable. The Sumerians, often called the cradle of civilization, developed writing, law, and mathematics that form the foundation of modern society. Yet, the richness of their culture is rarely explored in detail. The Indus Valley Civilization, older than Egypt and Mesopotamia, featured urban planning, sophisticated drainage systems, and advanced trade networks, achievements far ahead of their time. Ancient America, from the Olmecs to the Carol civilization, produced monumental architecture and complex societal structures that challenge the accepted historical timeline. These civilizations reveal that human ingenuity existed far earlier than we are taught, and they suggest the presence of lost knowledge and wisdom that could change our understanding of the past. History is not merely about what happened, it is also about what was deliberately hidden. Powerful empires and religious institutions often rewrote history to serve their interests, glorifying themselves while erasing rivals or inconvenient truths. Knowledge of advanced technologies, astronomical observations, and scientific methods from ancient times was often suppressed or forgotten. Catastrophic events like floods, volcanic eruptions, or societal collapses were sometimes minimized or omitted, altering our perception of how civilizations evolved. By studying these gaps, we uncover the real story of humanity, a story shaped as much by power and secrecy as by triumphs and failures. Beyond empires, hidden networks have influenced the course of history. Groups like the Knights Templar, Freemasons, and other clandestine orders guided leaders, shaped politics, and protected knowledge from the public eye. Religious and political institutions manipulated narratives to maintain control over populations, censoring historical truths that could challenge their authority. These invisible hands often determined what knowledge survived and what was lost to the sands of time. The presence of secret societies suggests that much of what we consider history is incomplete, curated, and deliberately guided to maintain power structures. Many ancient texts and artifacts hint at advanced understanding lost to modern scholarship. Codices from civilizations like the Maya, Egyptians, and Babylonians demonstrate advanced astronomy, mathematics, and architecture. Ancient engineering feats like precise pyramids, urban planning, and monumental sculptures challenge conventional timelines of human capability. The suppression or loss of such knowledge prevents society from fully understanding its own history and potential. By uncovering these suppressed truths, we begin to see history not as a linear, sanitized story, but as a complex tapestry of innovation, knowledge, and sometimes deliberate erasure. Why this matters today. The history we are taught shapes our worldview, our values, and our understanding of human potential. By exploring the hidden truths, we recognize patterns that repeat across civilizations, warning us about societal collapse and renewal. We gain insight into technologies, philosophies, and knowledge systems that could inspire modern innovation. We question the narratives presented to us, developing critical thinking and awareness about how power controls information. Understanding hidden history is not just about the past. It is about understanding ourselves, our societies, and the forces that shape the world today. Beneath every empire, beneath every textbook, lies another story. A story of invisible hands shaping the world, of secret societies influencing rulers, and of knowledge deliberately hidden from the masses. History is often portrayed as a series of wars, revolutions, and famous leaders. But behind every major event, there are hidden currents of power that textbooks rarely acknowledge. Understanding these forces reveals the real story, one of control, secrecy, and influence that extends through time. One of the earliest examples of powerful, hidden organizations are the Knights Templar, founded in the 12th century. Officially, they were a religious military order protecting pilgrims in the Holy Land. Unofficially, they amassed immense wealth, influence, and access to knowledge that few others could reach. Rumors and historical accounts suggest they guarded ancient texts, sacred relics, and secrets of the past, knowledge that mainstream history often ignores. Their mysterious wealth and disappearance from official records have fueled centuries of speculation, suggesting that history is selectively recorded, highlighting what powers wanted the public to know. Centuries later, the Freemasons emerged as a secretive society influencing politics, architecture, and intellectual thought. Freemasonry spread across Europe and America, impacting revolutions, scientific development, and political structures. Symbols of their influence appear in architecture, city layouts, and even the founding of nations. The society's knowledge was esoteric, accessible only to initiates, and often deliberately hidden from the general public. By controlling who could access certain knowledge, these societies shaped historical narratives, ensuring that power remained concentrated and that certain truths stayed concealed. Secret societies weren't just political influencers, they were also custodians of knowledge that mainstream history ignored or suppressed. Ancient texts, manuscripts, and inventions were often hidden, destroyed, or claimed as lost to maintain power structures. Some of this knowledge included advanced mathematics, astronomy, and engineering far ahead of their recorded time. Military innovations and political strategies were closely guarded, giving select groups a strategic advantage across centuries. This deliberate concealment of knowledge means that our understanding of human achievement is incomplete, shaped by those with the ability to control the record. Powerful institutions have historically erased inconvenient truths from history. Conquerors rewrote the histories of the vanquished to erase rival civilizations. Religious and political institutions removed texts or distorted events to maintain authority. Entire populations, cultures, and scientific achievements were minimized or forgotten, leaving gaps in the historical record. These omissions are not accidental, they are part of a deliberate effort to shape perception, ensuring that the masses learn only what the ruling class wants them to know. Even today, history continues to be curated. Textbooks, media, and governments emphasize certain narratives while ignoring others. The full story of colonization, industrialization, and global conflicts often omits uncomfortable truths, including hidden motives, suppressed revolts, and erased cultures. Understanding what has been deliberately hidden allows us to see patterns, uncover suppressed knowledge, and critically evaluate the world today. By exploring secret societies and hidden powers, we begin to realize that history is not just a record of the past. It is a tool of influence, a weapon of power, and a reflection of what someone, somewhere, wanted us to believe. What if the greatest achievements of our ancestors were erased? What if wars, disasters, and revolutions were rewritten to hide the truth? The history you know is only part of the story. The rest has been deliberately buried. Across the globe, civilizations existed whose knowledge and technology were extraordinary. The Minoans of Crete built complex palaces, advanced drainage systems, and trade networks. Yet their society vanished, leaving only fragments. Ancient cities in South America, like Tiwanaku and Caral, showcase engineering and urban planning far beyond what was previously thought possible. Many structures, such as pyramids outside Egypt or megalithic stone circles, suggest astronomical understanding and engineering skills that remain unexplained. These civilizations demonstrate that human history is far older and more sophisticated than mainstream education admits, raising questions about lost knowledge and the deliberate suppression of records. History is often sanitized to serve political purposes. Wars are presented as battles between good and evil, but often ignored are the economic, religious, and secret influences driving them. Victorious nations sometimes erase the contributions, cultures, and achievements of the defeated, reshaping historical narratives to glorify themselves. Entire rebellions, uprisings, or massacres may be omitted from official records, leaving the public unaware of the true cost of power struggles. These manipulations of historical memory ensure that the dominant narrative favors those in power, hiding inconvenient truths about conquest, oppression, and resistance. Throughout history, discoveries have been suppressed for political, religious, or social reasons. Ancient manuscripts and codices reveal advanced astronomy, medicine, and mathematics long before their official discovery. Technological achievements, from precise metallurgy to architecture aligning with celestial events, were sometimes hidden, destroyed, or ignored, keeping humanity in a deliberately constrained state of knowledge. Reports of ancient knowledge in forbidden texts or underground libraries suggest that entire scientific and philosophical traditions were lost intentionally. By erasing or hiding this knowledge, societies maintained control over information, ensuring that only certain people could benefit from the wisdom of the past. History also hides the impact of natural events that shaped civilizations. Massive floods, volcanic eruptions, and asteroid impacts may have destroyed entire societies, yet mainstream history often minimizes these events. Civilizations like Atlantis, Lemuria, or other lost continents are relegated to legend, despite evidence suggesting their possible existence and influence. These suppressed catastrophes explain sudden shifts in population, culture, and technological knowledge, but they rarely appear in school curricula. Recognizing these forgotten disasters allows us to see patterns and cycles in history, providing insight into how human civilizations rise, fall, and adapt. Why history is curated. History is never neutral. It is curated to shape perception and maintain power. Governments, institutions, and elites have always controlled which events are recorded and how they are presented. Textbooks, media, and education systems often emphasize achievements favorable to ruling powers while ignoring inconvenient truths. By questioning these curated narratives, we uncover a richer, more accurate, and more dangerous version of history, one filled with secrets, suppression, and human resilience. By understanding the events that were erased or rewritten, we can see the world through a clearer lens, recognizing both the brilliance of lost civilizations and the hidden forces that shaped modern society. The history you know is only the surface. Beneath it lies a world of secrets, lost civilizations, suppressed discoveries, and forgotten wisdom, lessons that could change how we see ourselves and the world today. History is more than a timeline of kings and wars. It is a map of human potential, failure, and resilience. By uncovering what was erased, forgotten, or hidden, we gain insight into the choices, mistakes, and innovations of our ancestors, and how these lessons can shape the present and future. Many ancient civilizations achieved knowledge far beyond their time. The Egyptians mastered astronomy, engineering, and medicine, building monuments aligned with celestial events. The Maya accurately calculated solar and lunar cycles, creating calendars that continue to baffle modern scientists. Ancient seafarers and builders in South America, Africa, and Asia constructed cities, canals, and monuments with precision and purpose, demonstrating advanced engineering and societal organization. These civilizations teach us that human ingenuity has always existed, and that our ancestors may have known ways to harness nature, energy, and knowledge that we are only beginning to rediscover. Forbidden knowledge, manuscripts, codices, and hidden technologies reveals alternate paths of understanding. Advanced mathematics, astronomy, and medicine were sometimes deliberately hidden or destroyed to maintain power hierarchies. Ancient philosophies and spiritual practices offer insights into human consciousness, ethics, and the relationship between society and nature. Rediscovering these ideas challenges the narrative that modern society is uniquely advanced, showing instead that knowledge has often been cyclical and suppressed. By studying suppressed knowledge, we learn that control over information shapes civilizations, and that understanding the past can empower us today. Hidden history reveals recurring patterns in human societies. Empires rise and fall, often due to corruption, overreach, or environmental collapse. Secret societies, elites, or rulers manipulate narratives to maintain control. Ordinary people, through ingenuity and resilience, find ways to survive, resist, and innovate despite oppression. Recognizing these patterns allows us to critically evaluate the present, understand societal structures, and anticipate potential challenges for the future. Exploring the real history that schools omit is not just about curiosity. It is about empowerment and perspective. Understanding suppressed events and knowledge encourages critical thinking. Learning from lost civilizations teaches us how to avoid repeating mistakes and how to value ingenuity. Studying hidden influences shows the importance of seeking truth beyond official narratives, questioning authority, and thinking independently. The past is a mirror reflecting both human potential and human folly. By uncovering what has been hidden, we gain the tools to shape a wiser, more informed future. History is a living story, incomplete, complex, and often hidden. By seeking forbidden knowledge, we honor the achievements of lost civilizations. We learn from the mistakes of the past. We challenge the narratives that limit our understanding and broaden our view of human potential. History is not just about memorizing dates and names. It is about seeing the world as it truly was, understanding the forces that shaped it, and learning from the wisdom that survived. If you want to uncover the hidden history, lost civilizations, and forbidden knowledge they never taught you in school, subscribe to Empire Mindset. Explore the secrets, challenge the narratives, and see the world as it was truly shaped. The real story of humanity is waiting. Are you ready to discover it?